Hi everyone, welcome on this episode regarding the Cloud Connector in terms of architectural recommendations. So if you look at the Cloud Connector, then our recommendation would be, but it depends of course how large your environment is, but especially and definitely for larger customers, to have one Cloud Connector per environment. And I'll explain you why just in a moment. We also advise that you do for production, of course, high availability setup and also take performance into account. So we would advise you to go for a large installation in terms of the sizing. You can find the sizing back in the help documentation of SAP. And in this case, we would also say, okay, take both master and slave as a large installation size. And in terms of the architectural recommendation, we have come up with this recommendation because of the use of virtual host names in destinations. So what it can do for you is avoid that you need to reconfigure destinations and also avoid that you need to reconfigure objects or configuration that you've done through transports on BTP. So if we look at this visual, then you can see in the BTP sub-account that we can reuse every time the same SID for the backend system and also the same virtual host name. And then it will always stay the same within the different sub-accounts. So in development, it is the same. In acceptance and in production, in your sub-account, it has the same name. But because we have one Cloud Connector per environment, then you can use another internal host name in the Cloud Connector so that each time it points to a different system. So on your development Cloud Connector, the virtual host name will point to your development system internally. On the acceptance, the same virtual host name will point to the acceptance system. And in production, again, the same thing. You have your virtual host name, which is pointing to your productive system in terms of what is running on-premise. And in this case, if you transport configuration across the sub-accounts in BTP, you don't need manual reconfiguration because of the change in terms of the system. So this is something we came up with. It's not in the documentation of SAP, but we find this useful. So in this case, we were happy to share it with you. Thanks for watching.